Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So, look, first things first, thank you to the man upstairs. Thank y'all for your support. And, man, today I got a very fire build coming at y'all. Going to be called the offensive threat. But before anything else, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family RGF, be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications, hit that like button, as well as drop a comment in the comment section just to let me know who is here. Y'all most definitely know that I got y'all with a response. And with this build that I'm bringing y'all today, I'm telling you, going to be a very overpowered offensive build, and even the defense is still really solid. Now, with this build, you have to go ahead and make it out of the metric system. So go ahead and go into your settings, change it from imperial to metric, and you're going to be all set from here. Now, also, put this build under the shooting guard position. Going to be very good. And then when it comes down to the pie chart, the one that you're going to go ahead and pick is going to be split right down the middle with the finishing as well as the shooting. Then when it comes down to the physical profile, this is highly optional with which one you pick. Just be sure that y'all know this is not really making a huge difference on this build, but I decided to go with the one with the fastest speed. Now, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of these badges when it comes down to the attributes and stats. First, we're going to go ahead and start with the finishing. I'm going to go with the close shot of 88. Driving layup, going to be 88 as well. Then for the driving dunk, I'm going to go with the 78. Standing dunk is going to get a 48. And with this build, you're going to get 13 finishing badges. And you're going to be able to get contact dunks depending on if you choose the slasher takeover, y'all. Now with that taken into consideration, I'm telling you, this is easily going to be one of the best offensive builds that you will see all year with a really nice name. Now, for that mid-range shot, I'm going to go with an 83. Three-pointer, 81. Free throw of an 87, and then when it comes down to the post fade, I'm putting an 87 here as well, ending up with 22 shooting badges. Pass accuracy, I'm going to go with the 78. Ball handle, same thing, and you will be able to get pro dribble moves on this build as well, so do not worry. Go with the post control of 37. That's going to give you 13 playmaking badges. When it comes down to the defensive end, max out that perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal, and put the rest into the defensive rebound. And we're going to be able to get 5 badges from this area of the build. And remember also, you get a +4, one from each season. So honestly, once you get to season 5, you have the potential of getting 10 defensive badges on an offensive threat build. Really toxic, really overpowered, especially considering that you're getting pro dribble moves on this build, as well as being able to get contact dunks with the slasher takeover, and even the sharpshooting takeover and shot creating is going to take this build over the top. Now, for the body shape, if you want to take up the most space, go with the Burley. I'm going to go with Defined. Now, as y'all can see, remember, I told you, we're making this build out of the metric system. So all you got to go ahead and do is go into the settings. Then from there, go to the drop down section, and it's going to change it from imperial to metric. When it comes down to the height, I'm going to go with 193 meters. That's going to be perfect for this build, or 1.93, I should say. This is really going to be what you want to go with because it's going to allow you to do a lot of different things when it comes down to the breakdown. Now, as for the weight, there is actually a perfect way to go about it. For me, I would have to say, if you go anything higher than 80 kilograms, that is going to start to affect the physicals. And now, let's go ahead and get into the wingspan. This is going to be a very special part about this build. So, if you wanted to, you can definitely go ahead and max it out. I highly would not recommend that. For me, I want to be able to really do everything with this build. So instead of maxing it out for defensive purposes, I really feel like somewhere around 202 centimeters is going to be exactly what you want to go with. Pro dribble moves off rip, and then also consider you're getting a +8 4 from hitting 99 overall, as well as another +4 from bind boost. And then if you're running with teammates that have floor general and defensive leader in Hall of Fame, that is +12 without even considering the +10 to your attributes from the takeover that you do decide to pick. So let's go ahead and start it out. We get the slashing, shot creating, sharpshooting, and playmaking takeover. It really comes down to your own playstyle and preference. For me, I would really consider the contact dunks, and that's what's going to be unlocked when it comes down to picking the slashing takeover. But just to be overpowered, I really feel like the sharpshooting one is going to be the one that I would go with. Again, even shot creating is a nice one considering you're going to be able to break angles, but this one fits the build just so much better in my opinion. So let's go with the sharpshooting, and as y'all can see, we have made the offensive threat build. I'm telling you, this build is really going to take things over the top when it comes down to running guard, especially because we made it perfectly out of the metric system. And also on top of all that, remember, you're going to be able to do everything on the offensive end with this build as well as even the defensive end. So remember, we're getting a plus 12 to every single category on this build. So let's go ahead and take a quick look. Essentially, you're going to be able to get a 99 close shot as well as a 99 driving layup. Driving dunk, this is definitely going to be somewhere around an 89. Then with the shooting as well as considered with the takeover added, you'll have a 99 mid-range shot, 99 three-pointer, free throw, as well as a post fade. When it comes down to the ball handle, this is going to be a 92. Pass accuracy is going to be a perfect 90. And then for the defensive end, you're going to be able to maintain an 87 perimeter defense. And then when the lateral quickness comes into play, you're going to be able to maintain an 86 here. Steal, going to be a 92. And that defensive rebound is going to go up to a 72. And remember, the badges are going to make a huge difference on this build, especially if you know what you are doing. And then when it comes down to the physicals, you get a plus 8, so a 95 speed and pretty much a 94 acceleration. Vertical, gonna go up as well, pretty much gonna be an 80, y'all. One tick off of that, but honestly, still really solid build. Now, if you want to change anything about this build, I would really consider changing the physical profile, because that means you're gonna be able to have the potential to get that vertical into the 90s, y'all. Now again, that's just my preference as well as how I see things. But let's go ahead and finish it off getting into what badges we would actually run when it comes down to this build. So first, we're going to go ahead and start with the defensive end. Honestly, if you wanted to, you can definitely spread the wealth, and that is one way that I would go about it with this build. I'm going to go ahead and go with gold intimidator, and then from here silver clamps or even bronze. You could definitely go ahead and throw on rim protector, at least on silver, and even if you want to spread the wealth a little bit more, you can even go ahead and throw on bronze chased on artist. But I like silver interceptor, silver rim protector, as well as bronze clamps, and you could always change these however you feel your preference is going to be based on, as well as your playstyle. Now let's go ahead and get into the next category of badges, which is going to be the playmaking. So right here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is first max out handles for days, put it on the highest tier possible, and then when it comes down to the next badge, hyperdrive as well as quick chain are going to be two essential badges that honestly I feel like everybody should be running if you have the potential to add them to your build. Now we got 4 more remaining, so you can go a few different ways about this. If you want to spread the wealth, I definitely see why you would want to do that. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put on for sure's bullet passer on bronze, and then you can go with quick first step or triple threat juke on gold, or even spread the wealth a little bit to each of these categories. Again, this just comes down to personal preference as well as playstyle, so just know however you go about it, this is really going to work out in your favor as long as you know this is what you want. So we're going to go ahead and leave it like that when it comes down to the playmaking. Let's go ahead and move on to the next category, which is going to be the finishing. So we actually are going to be able to put on some really good badges on this build. I'm going to go with posterizer on Hall of Fame as well as limitless takeoff. And remember, there have been people who get contact dunk animations without even having the animations equipped. So again, it just plays role into the fact what these badges are going to be able to do. For me to end it off, I'm going to go with fearless finisher on bronze as well as Hall of Fame slithery finisher. Let's go ahead and finish it off with the shooting now. We get 22 badges that we're going to be able to work with. And honestly here, be sure that you're going with what you feel like is going to be comfortable for your shooting style, y'all. Now that for me is going to go ahead and start it off with Hot Zone Hunter on Hall of Fame, and then spread the wealth a little bit with Clutch Shooter, Green Machine, and Volume Shooter on bronze. I really like to run Deadeye on any build that I have, so I'm going to go with silver. From there, I'm running Hall of Fame Blinders, Hall of Fame Sniper, and then for the last 5, if you want to spread the wealth, you definitely can do that just to help out with your shooting percentage a little bit. I'm going to go with silver corner specialist, bronze catch and shoot, and then for the last two, I would run silver, stop, and pop. And this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. 13 finishing badges, 22 shooting, 13 playmaking, and then 5 defensive. And remember, you get a +4 because we are in season 4 if you completed each season. Again, man, thank you to the man upstairs. Shout out to God. He has been real and always has been. I just want you to know, put your faith in him and watch what is going to happen and evolve in your life. I love y'all, and I really thank y'all for the support as well as the love y'all have been showing me all year. We're hitting 10,000 big supporters in the Rich Gang family this year. So man, with all that being said, just know that I love y'all, and any kind of videos that y'all want to see, go ahead and drop a comment down so I know what you're looking forward to. And even if you have your own builds, be sure to drop them down below, and I definitely will make a video out of it. But man, with all that being said, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, RGF, be sure to turn on post notifications as well as hit that like button. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.